on this edition of Ultrasound. Madonna takes us inside the making of her new album, Ray of Light.
We're thinking of calling it Veronica Electronica. That is one of my middle names. But you didn't know that. A little bit of trivia.
Veronica, I know that.
Okay, okay. Don't get loud, Kurt.
Ultrasound goes inside the studio.
Kiss me, I'm dying.
It's almost psychedelic.
Yeah. Drug music without drugs.
Gets inside her tour plans.
And
I want you on stage with me. Thank you.
Inside the wonders of motherhood. Inside her spiritual journey.
I think I have much more of a joy of living than I can ever remember having before.
Inside Madonna.
How do you feel about it when you look back? I mean, just the effect you've had on music and on people's lives. Do you see it in a different way now than you did when you were undergoing it?
I didn't have a clue. I was just a little bunny hopping along. Who was I?
Interesting way of putting it.
And why did people let me have my hair like that?
For the past 15 years, Madonna has reigned as the chameleon queen of popular culture, shifting images with each new record, movie, and of course, that book. But in the 4 years since her last studio album, her life has undergone a deeper change, and it's not just a marketing ploy. Madonna's a mother now, that's one thing, but she's also become a student of the spirit, you might say. A one-time material girl, now grown all ethereal. And this newly illuminated state of mind is the subject of her extraordinary new album, Ray of Light.
Is there like a theme about this album? Is there one central thing going on that you can catch glimpses of in each track?
Probably self-examination or self-discovery. I think that's definitely going on in every song. But also, I think I have much more of a joy of living than I can ever remember having before.
Love is a bird, she needs to fly. Let all the hurt inside of you die.
I think I've always been on a journey, but I feel like I had like a huge, I don't know if you would call it a spiritual awakening, but I don't know, I think after I did Evita and after I had my daughter, my life sort of took a turn, and I just started to look at life differently, and I realized how blessed I was, and before I was just taking things for granted. Probably what I started to focus on more than anything was living in the moment and enjoying each moment instead of going, oh, I just want to get through this, I just want to finish this record, I just want to finish this video, I just want to get through the end of this. I mean, if you do that and if that's your attitude, then your whole life, if you look back on it, is just constantly waiting for something to be finished rather than really enjoying the moment and being in the moment.
The new, more open Madonna invited us into the LA studio where she was recording the album with cutting-edge producer William Orbit, programmer Marius DeVries, and her Maverick Records partner Gaia Siri. The songs she previewed were clearly about spiritual connection, but the deeply charged electronic sounds she achieved just as clearly constitute a new sonic vocabulary in popular music.
This doesn't sound like anything you've done before, ever. I mean, was that conscious? We want to do like some record that doesn't sound like it's ever...
No, my goal was to just work on a record that I wanted to listen to all the time. There are certain kinds of records that I always listen to. Most of them come from England, a few from France, and it's a certain kind of a sound. I can't describe it. And the only way to get that sound is to work with the people that make those records. So here we are.
What has William brought to this project, Madonna?
A certain brand of sort of madman type genius. Crunch.
Crunch, bites,
bubbles,
chewiness.
There's a lot of bubbly bits. I can't really describe it, and it's not really anything.
Well, it's very computerized, I would say. No?
There's a lot of synth stuff, but there's actually a lot of electric guitar stuff. Something I haven't used on records for a really long time.
Could you play something for us?
Me play?
Does she play?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No,
Who's the guitar?
Oh God, please!
Really?
I don't.
If I had a hammer.
Listen, all my
Really?
all my ideas are in my head. I'm more instinctual. I just say what sounds good and feels good. So maybe that comes in handy, because there are no rules.
Now, what has been your role in this album?
Just helpful friend.
He's the guy that comes in and like withholds all compliments. So, like, we play him tracks and he says nothing and leaves, and then we have a nervous breakdown.
Have you killed any tracks outright? So this just can't go.
No, but he's killed some goofy ideas. He really hates those icy strings. Right when I think the track's done, he sort of pushes us another step further and says, maybe you should try this, and I really don't want to hear that. And then, of course, it creeps into my brain, and then later on in the day, I'm thinking, maybe I should have done a background vocal on that. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't, and I'm happy to report when it doesn't. So I guess you guys were going to do Skin, right? That's the name of the song we're working on today. But I don't think we want to go with the harmony route right now.
Did you change the name of that song?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, what was it called before?
Never mind. This is the Guitar Garden.
Ah. Now, which one?
This is where.
Which one is your? If I had a hammer guitar here.
Listen, I really don't play the guitar. These are all Williams guitars, and he goes insane in here. Okay. I know nothing about any of them.
All right.
We just put them through a Marshall. That's all I know. And here's my. This is my little garden.
I always picture this being like an enclosed booth sort of situation, but I guess that's...
Sometimes they have that, but I don't like that.
Huh.
You like accessibility.
Do you have any effects on your voice?
Yeah, if you put my headphones on, you can hear them. Hello? Hello? Kurt? You there? You hear the effects? I know you from somewhere. Let me start again. Do I know you from somewhere? Why do you leave me wanting more?
When you come into the studio for the first day, what do you have with you? Tapes or?
The first day?
Yeah, like the first day you come in and say, these are the songs we're going to do.
No, well, first I choose the producers I'm going to work with, and I sit with them and I play all my songs that I've been writing. Why do all the things I say sound like the stupid things I've said before? I go and I write with different musicians, and then...
You have the lyrics, right? And you have the melody and...
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I hear a snippet of music and that will inspire me. Sometimes I'll, there's a couple of songs that I keep a diary and I write in it, and I write poetry and stuff, and I just take a snapshot of that and I kind of rearrange it into a song. Close my eyes. I close my eyes. Marius, that was wrong, wasn't it? Okay, go back. Did I do that wrong? This song I've definitely been writing as we go along. We kind of saved this for last because it was very rough.
Yeah.
And it's been a kind of, I have an idea and they have an idea. They put stuff on the track that inspires me. I lay a rough buckle down, that inspires them. And today actually we really start getting into the real vocal arrangement. Was I Close My Eyes in the right place? It was right? Well, if I sang the verse right, just pick it up right after the last I Closed My Eyes. After we've been working and we have no inhibitions around each other anymore, we get a flow going, then we kind of get into creating stuff. I'm not like this all the time. I'm not like this all the time. It's been really fun. I've never had so much fun really working on it. I've never felt so free to experiment. Put your hand on my skin. Put your hand on my skin. Thank you, good night.
It's almost psychedelic, dare I say.
Yeah. Drug music without drugs.
Yeah. Is that possible? I guess it is.
None of us are on anything. It's possible if you have really free people, because ultimately that's what drugs do. They free your mind and give you the feeling like you have, no inhibitions. You can go anywhere.
Did you ever have a drug period where you did like LSD or anything like that?
No.
A classic. Nothing at all?
No.
Wow.
No, I missed out on the whole drug thing.
So you're just in touch with your inner whatever.
My inner self?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to think I am. I mean, I've come a long way. I used to think I was in touch with my inner self, and then I realized that was my inner ego.
What's the difference?
Because the ego is all, gratification for yourself alone. It's not very much sharing and kindness. and generosity.
So does this have anything to do with having children?
It has a lot to do with that. I mean, I think probably having her set me off on a new way of thinking, and then just gone down a different road, period. And it was very good for me, too, because then the writing of this record and the working on it allowed me to be much more free. Are you into numerology?
I could be.
There's significance to numbers, you know. That's why Ray of Light's the third track on the album.
How about the total number of tracks on the album?
13, luckiest number of all.
Oh. And this is like your 13th album, isn't it? Like,
ooh, I never thought of that. Should we do one more song or not?
let's do one more.
Okay, let's do Little Star.
What was the inspiration for this?
For which?
Little Star.
Lola. Otherwise known as Lourdes Maria.
Never forget who you are, little star.
It's my one super sentimental song on the album.
Well, everybody should have one of them. Right?
Exactly. She's doing great. She'll be here later. We always bring Lola in when we're like 3 chords away through the song, and if she grooves to it, then we know we're in the right place.
Is she pretty accurate about that?
Oh yeah. She sits here and she sort of rocks out at the faders.
Oh, good. Does she fool with the controls at all? That would be interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Angels protect you, sadness forget you, little star, shining bright.
No doubt, your daughter has heard Little Star. Is it her favorite track? Do you think she suspects that it's maybe related to her somehow?
I know she likes that track, but she likes other things too. She really likes Ray of Light.
Mm-hmm.
She bounces up and down a lot to that song. Yeah.
Now, Ray of Light that would be a song about, obviously, I imagine, some new sort of knowledge, some new sort of perspective.
It's about mysticism, and it's about realizing how small my life is in the big picture, and like what's happening to me, but on the other hand, how big it is.
Yeah.
It's about wonderment. It's about...
But don't you think people lose their sense of wonder? Isn't that a human problem?
I think a lot of people do, yeah. They lose their sense of wonder, they lose their innocence, they stop asking questions, they stop being adventurous.
Madonna started questioning the direction of her own life when she became pregnant during the chaotic filming of the movie Evita. Searching for some fundamental answers, she turned to the Jewish mystical tradition of the Kabbalah, which now permeates her life and her 13th album, Ray of Light.
What is the rest of the album like? I mean, there are how many songs? 13, something like that?
14.
14.
But I'll only put 13 on because 13's a lucky number.
It is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know that. How is it a lucky number?
13 is the age when, that's why boys get bar mitzvahed at the age of 13, by the way. It's the age when the soul gets completely, like, sort of solidified in your body. When you come into your own.
It's one of those Kabbalah things.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Now, how did you become involved in this?
A girlfriend of mine was going all the time and to these classes, and she kept telling me about this really charismatic rabbi named Eitan who told these great stories, and she kept going on and on about it. And I said, Susan, I'm not even Jewish. Why are you telling me these things? You know, and she's like, you don't have to be Jewish. Just come and take a study, and if you like it, well, you like it. If you don't, leave. So I did. I mean, the thing about the Kabbalah is that there's similarities in the Kabbalah and, say, Buddhism. Mm-hmm. The whole idea of cause and effect. And for every action, there's a reaction. And that you absolutely are the master of your destiny, and that you have to take responsibility for the chaos in your life. You can't go around saying, oh, this happened to me, and this happened to me, and I'm a victim, and this happened to me. It's like you pull in what you put out, basically. And if you want to have goodness in your life, then you have to give it.
Om Shanti, 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 Shanti Om.
I know you grew up as a Catholic. Do you see Catholicism in a different light now? Does it still have any meaning to you at all? Or?
Yeah. I mean, all religions have meaning to me, and I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Catholicism. But I mean, there is a mysticism to Catholicism, but I find that the Kabbalah and Buddhism and other religions that are philosophies that I've been studying, sort of, they're more adaptable to modern living, to modern life. One of the comforting thoughts about all of it is I feel that there's a lot of similar things going through Christianity and Judaism and Buddhism, and it makes me think that at one time there was one thought.
The word.
Yeah, well, all paths lead to God.
If I open your heart.
With the Ray of Light album completed, Madonna summoned us to a sun-baked lake bed deep in California's Mojave Desert to witness the making of her video for Frozen.
I think that there's a lot of magical, mystical powers in the desert. I think it's a magical place to be. It is quite haunting at night.
Are you supposed to be a character of some sort?
I'm a mystical creature in the desert,
That's fun.
and I'm the embodiment of female angst.
You?
Yes!
That's pretty
Yes.
funny.
That's my stand-in, as you may have guessed.
She's been standing around for a long
I
time.
know.
Do you have a relationship with your stand-in and all?
I never do. I try not to get emotionally attached to them because then I feel sorry for them because they're always colder longer than me. Let's go back because, you know, I'm getting a sunburn.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be pale and sort of have a death-like pallor in this video. Yeah. No, don't say God. No, the director won't like that at all.
Masterminding the Frozen production was a gifted young Brit named Chris Cunningham, best known here for an unearthly Aphex Twin video.
I think she saw the Aphex video and was interested and asked to see my reel. The truth is that I probably became interested in the idea of doing music videos through seeing her videos, in particular her videos actually. There are a couple of videos that she did that I remember seeing and thinking, you know, that's brilliant. I remember seeing Rain when I was a bit younger and I thought that was beautiful. Yeah, really elegant.
Here we go, ready?
How am I going to end up on the next one? Just like spread eagle-like on my stomach. I'll stop in my yoga position where it looked like a bone was going out. I'm not kidding, it would look really good.
Yeah?
It would!
Yeah, let's do it then.
Be open-minded!
Yeah, I am very open-minded.
Not.
See what your eyes want to see. How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen when your heart's not open.
Now, why did you come out here to do Frozen? Is there a connection between the sort of desolation out here and the song?
Well, the song's about being emotionally frozen. So I think a desert is sort of symbolic of that.
And who is this raven-haired beauty in the desert? Another Madonna alter ego, it turns out, with her own sly little moniker, Veronica Electronica.
She's gothic, but she's medieval. She's romantic. She's pre-Raphaelite.
Now, this thing that you're wearing now, this is a wig.
Yeah, it's lots of pieces and braids, and it's very, well, I like to think of it as a black octopus on my head, basically.
If I open your heart.
Veronica definitely has, you know, she was like a personality that's sort of developing around me, but as far as the look for the video goes, I was hemming and hawing about how I wanted to look and what I wanted to do for a really long time until I saw Gautier's fashion show, and that was like the springboard for the look of the video.
Would it be fair to say there's like a goth element to this, or is that an ugly word?
You know, if you put someone in black with long hair and these kind of dresses, they're either going to look very classical and old-fashioned, or they're going to look gothy, and we've tried so hard to push it towards a kind of an old classical look.
I think it's going to be haunting, and a lot of his imagery is haunting. He's a very dark sensibility, but this is not a disturbing song. It's more of a kind of melancholy song. It's a love song. The song's about a person crying out for someone to be open, and I think a lot of women have found themselves in that position, to be more open-minded.
So this comes from your own life, in a way.
Mine and everybody else's.
Wow. So we're getting the lowdown on sort of the female life here.
Yeah, but I think I've been giving that lowdown for a while.
You can direct videos yourself, right? Now, as you know, Mariah Carey
is directing her own videos. I heard she sneaks in at night and grinds the glass for the lenses.
She's very brave.
Yeah.
'Cause I would never want to direct something I was in. I don't want to have to keep jumping back and forth. It's hard enough. I mean, I don't know how you can do both well. I really don't. Unless, you know, you're a guy and you just don't care. You know what I mean?
So guy-like.
Because guys just don't care, let's face it.
What do you mean by that?
They don't care how they look. And in fact, they can look bad and get away with it. Not that you look bad.
Thanks. Is the tour that'll inevitably follow this, I hope, going to be a vast, complex undertaking?
I haven't got a clue.
You haven't-
I'm sure I'll set out to do something simple, and then it will become a vast and complex undertaking. I've imagined visual elements that I would like to have, but I haven't like put the whole thing together yet. It's going to be a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
for sure.
Is this like a major project to sit down and think of what old stuff you might do on tour? I mean,
None.
Really, nothing at all?
Well, I wouldn't say nothing at all, but I mean, I just can't imagine doing stuff like, you know, like a Virgin and Material Girl and things like that. I mean, I don't know who that person is. She's a really sort of Neanderthal version of me.
Really?
Really amoeba, like unformed.
You'll go back on her as someone you don't like very much.
No, I'm very fond of her. But I mean, you know, this is what I mean about I didn't know the impact that I was, you know what I mean? I was just clueless. If I had known when I was doing those songs that for the rest of my life, you know, I was going to be referred to as... I'm
the
sure
Material Girl.
Yeah. I just probably never would have done it. Want to sing Vogue, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's like 100 years away from me. So,
What do you think? Do you feel like you're like less sort of ego-driven now?
I mean, no, please, I am not Mother Teresa, okay? Songs are like, they're like tattoos, you know what I mean? It's like they represent a time in your life, and if you've really moved on, it's hard to go back there and sing it with feeling.
Can you go out on the road and just do the new album?
I'd like to. I'm not going to do that.
Who would stop you? Nobody. No.
Glad you asked that. See you when I'm 80, Kurt.